Russian pilots, heroes of a special military operation. They make combat flights both during the day and at night, block the approach of reserves, hit enemy strongholds. It takes no more than half an hour from receiving the departure task to striking. Moving to the combat mission area takes place at minimum altitudes. Russian pilots instill fear in the enemy. Ukrainian militants are afraid of pilots. When approaching aircraft, the enemy quickly runs away, often forgetting even about military equipment. One of the pilots of the Su-25 attack aircraft of the Russian military space forces during a combat mission as part of a special military operation in Ukraine. After hitting a rocket of Ukrainian militants, assessing the situation, decided to turn off the damaged engine and not leave the plane. The pilot of the first leading plane was covering his comrade from being hit by a rocket again. After the attack, the targets with the slave began to perform a maneuver from the attack, and a rocket flew in. I hit the engine. The pilot, keeping his cool, courageously straightened the car and began to come forward. When I went forward, when I was looking forward in the rear-view mirrors, I watched the launch of the second rocket. Then he gave the command to come forward to him. I started shooting infrared traps and went back to him. I watched as the rocket went under me, from behind to the infrared trap, and at the same time as the pilot came forward. We gained altitude. They began to return to the airfield. The whole process, I watched him and his actions. Only the teams helped him straighten the plane, as all his equipment failed, the engine and aircraft control devices stopped working. The pilot, keeping his cool, continued to carry out the task until landing. On landing, the pilot suffered a destruction of the left pneumatics. He was given a timely command. He kept the car in the lane. He stopped calmly and did not interfere with other planes landing. He provided a landing for all the other planes that came after him. The damaged plane landed on the commands of the pilot covering it. The landing was made without incident. Thanks to the cold-blooded and skillful actions of the pilot, the life of another pilot was saved and the combat aircraft was saved. Both pilots are presented with state awards. The Russian pilots accomplished the feat, risking their lives, and saved the Su-25 aircraft. The personnel of the Army Aviation of the Aerospace Forces show massive heroism and bravery, high professionalism and courage in defending the fatherland and the state interests of Russia. All pilots, without exception, successfully complete their tasks during a special military operation. This case was a prime example. It shows the readiness of Russian pilots to act decisively and confidently even in extreme circumstances, while successfully fulfilling their military duties.